Hey everybody, what's up? I'm FUTC and I almost destroyed my camera in a snowstorm. I've wanted to do some street photography in snow for a very long time, but the problem is we don't get that much snow here. We've had several winters over the past few years where we didn't get any snow at all, which really sucks because snow is amazing for photos. Damn global warming, I have photography goals. But a couple of days ago I finally got my chance. I woke up and it was snowing like crazy. I think the last time I had that heavy snowfall was in Switzerland in 2018 or so. So I just decided I don't care that I have to work, I'm going to go out to shoot right now. So I got my Fuji X-T30 and the XF18-55 F2.8-4 and headed out. You might have noticed that my camera was completely wrapped in a plastic bag. The problem was it was snowing so hard and I really wasn't interested in breaking well over €800 of camera gear that day. So I took the XF18-55, extended it completely to 55 and wrapped everything in a plastic bag and closed it off with rubber bands at the front, keeping the front element and lens hood open. I took the first plastic bag I could find. I think it still had some breadcrumbs or something in it. The reason why I extended the lens was that I knew I wouldn't be able to zoom anymore with the bag and everything and the rubber bands in the front and everything, yeah. So I knew I had to pick a focal length. Also, I wanted to make sure that if any water gets through my improvised rubber band seal, it wouldn't get into the lens barrel and destroy anything in there. So extending the lens and increasing the distance to the point of possible water entry at the front, yeah, it felt a bit safer. Additionally, I set everything to full auto because I knew it would be impossible to change any settings through the bag and with gloves on. Yeah, that's just a bad combination. And one important note, if you want to try this, the plastic bag was triggering the viewfinder's proximity sensor, which in turn disables the screen. So I had to set my camera to only use the back screen. Okay, enough rapping, here are some more photos. Despite my ingenious plastic bag weather sealing, I was pretty scared about water getting inside the lens or the camera. It was snowing so hard and the snow kept gathering in the front of the lens. And I was really worried that the random plastic bag I had grabbed in a hurry might have small holes or something that I didn't see. But it turned out the real problem wasn't the snow, it was the temperature. After about 10 minutes or so, the camera randomly turned off. I turned it back on again, took 2 photos, and then it turned off again. The battery indicator showed that I still had 2 bars of battery left, but after 1 or 2 shots it would suddenly flash an empty battery symbol and turn off. It really started to worry me because the camera was giving me 2 conflicting battery indicators, and suddenly it wouldn't turn on at all anymore. So yeah, at that point I was pretty scared, but after finding a place that was safe from the snow, I unpacked everything, I took off all the plastic, I changed the battery and repacked everything again in the plastic bag, and luckily it was up and running again and I could continue to shoot. really like how this photo turned out. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it looks like it's from the 50s or 60s or something, and I'm a sucker for old stuff, as you can tell by my gigantic collection of old cameras. Half of my photos turned out super crooked because I could barely see anything on the back screen with the wet plastic bag in front and everything, and the camera also missed focus several times because it was focusing on the falling snow in front of the subject sometimes. Yeah, just like my attention span just can't focus on what's important. This scene here looked really amazing, with the tall buildings left and right and the dome towering above them. It would have been really amazing if someone with like a really punchy colored jacket would have walked through here, but it just wasn't meant to be. This shot here is pretty good, but unfortunately the jacket color here blends in with the background so much. I don't know, I tried to Photoshop it to make the person stand out a bit more, but it wasn't easy, you know, with all of the damn snow in front of the subject. Yeah, I don't know, my Photoshop skills aren't that good. As you might be able to tell, I'm a huge fan of super contrasty black and white for my street photography. What I did with these to edit them is actually quite simple. In Lightroom I of course first convert to black and white, and then I increased the exposure a bit because some shots were pretty underexposed. Okay, they weren't actually underexposed, the snow was just so bright and the camera had to push down the exposure pretty far in some cases. But I'm not interested in detail in the snow anyways. I don't need your preserve your highlights tips here. Just get rid of them. I don't want your highlights. Take them. I don't want them. I just absolutely blast the contrast slider and then continue to completely blow out my highlights and then pull down the blacks and shadows a fair bit to get that hyper contrasty but very clean look. I also increased the texture slider a little bit because that helps accentuate all of the little snowflakes in the image, and I've also decreased the clarity ever so slightly. At this point I could barely feel my hands anymore from the cold, so we decided to head back, but on the way back I actually got my best photo of the day in my opinion. Some person decided to perfectly stand between these pillars and it made for a super nice composition. I had to squeeze through the tables and umbrellas of some cafe there to get the shot to line up like perfectly, but then somebody walked past with an umbrella, which just was the cherry on top. I'm really happy with the images that I got on that day, and yeah, I don't know, I'm just happy I finally got the chance to do some snowy street photography. Okay, that's it from me today. Just follow me on Instagram, it's at FUTC.photography, and I have other videos where I go shoot on the left and the right here. I go shoot there. Just, okay, I bonked the microphone. Okay, thanks for watching, see you in the next one, bye.